Welcome to another episode of Varsity House Podcast with your host, Sean Crawford. Hope you enjoyed the last episode featuring Vanderbilt football. If you haven't been able to yet, please go check that out. This episode will feature members of the Michigan football team, Caden, Kolesar, Ronnie Bell, and Moten. 3 veterans on the team that are going to share how they feel the spring went, talk about Coach Harbaugh, talk about beating their rivals, and also experiencing the college football playoffs for the first time. I love being able to gather insight into these programs and provide you the content. So please continue to show support by following all of our social media accounts at Varsity House Podcast and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Varsity House Podcast. I thank you for support so far, and please enjoy this episode. What's going on, fellas? Welcome to Varsity House Podcast with your host, Sean Crawford. This episode, we have a co-host, Brandon Wimbush. In this episode, we got members from the Michigan football team. We got Ronnie Bell, Moten, Caden, Kolesar. Appreciate you guys for joining in. I know it's a weekday, but I appreciate you guys hopping on and just start. I don't know if you saw, but I posted today for the first time and basically just want to use this platform to share the stories of college athletes, male and females, just because, we all go through things. And I feel like the only thing that matters to a lot of people are how we perform on the weekend. And I think there's a lot more that goes into it. And I think we'll get into that. But Michigan, you guys had an amazing season last year, beat your rivals, reached the college football playoffs. Some would say you got your coach contract extended, but just coming off this season, what was the energy like going into the spring?
I can go first, I guess. I'd say it was just building off of what we built last year. It's kind of like we kind of established the culture and really made it what it was to be successful, to win the Big Ten championship and accomplish those goals that we accomplished. But obviously the last game of the season didn't end in a win. So it wasn't a complete success, And obviously we lost the regular season game along the way too. And so it's the main message was basically just keep building and keep just focusing on the little details that maybe we overlooked last year, just to keep getting better and end next season on a win.
Now you guys play. You obviously play in big games. How was the experience of the college football playoffs? Was it because Notre Dame, we've been there. We're fortunate enough to play. I was fortunate enough to play there twice. Brandon played there once, and it is a big stage. Did you guys feel like it was anything different than what you're accustomed to?
I'll go ahead. Really, going into it, it's the college football playoff and everything, but you can't think of it as the college football playoff. You know what I mean? Really, I just looked at it as another game, just a different opponent. Obviously not in the same conference as us, but it's a lot more flashing lights, a lot more people. It's a bigger stage, but that's one thing I tried to tell the secondary and some of the other kids, just don't think of it as, what it is. Think of it as just another regular season game. We just on the road. So
you were a sophomore last year, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you starting the whole season and then also playing in that game. How was it playing next to Hill? Who's probably going to be a future first round pick this coming draft. Did you lean on him a little bit for experience, or did you kind of just feel comfortable just from your freshman year?
Well, I didn't play my freshman year at all. Didn't do anything my freshman year. So, when I started repping with the ones, I was a little nervous. Didn't want to make the wrong calls. Didn't want to mess up at all. But, him and Brad pulled me aside and really talked to me and was listen, we got your back. Everybody in this room's got your back. We're rooting for you if anything happens. Just go with your gut and we'll fix it in film. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Ronnie, you obviously had the injury last year in the first game of the season. I tore my ACL my senior year going into I think it was 2018 or 2019, and we ended up making the college football playoffs as well. So I kind of relate I kind of can relate to you, especially in that situation, to where it's like you're a veteran on a team. You were named captain, I saw, and you had a great first game, and then you come down with the injury. How did that injury, I guess, like force you to still be a leader on the team, but like how did your mindset shift with the team, and also seeing the team be so successful?
Yeah, I feel like with the injury, it really it kind of shined a light on perspective for me, and how important that was, and what necessarily I'm looking for, like to help with the team in every way that I could. And like, yeah, like I guess like a big like I said, like I feel like the light where it shined and like what always was hitting home for me was when I kept thinking about perspective, like my perspective on how I'm looking at what the heck I'm about to do with what just happened. You know what I mean? Like I just tore my knee senior year. Like, am I about to shut down, or am I about to, you know what I'm saying, like find a way to bounce back and help the team in every way that I can? And so I think that's what really kind of boosted me and lifted my spirits to keep me elevated enough to help out with the team the best way I could and help with the receivers.
Yeah, a big thing from that is that, like, when Ronnie got hurt, obviously, like, it was a big hit to the team, like, our best receiver, one of our best players, period, like, one of our best leaders. And it was like he easily could have just, like, not been around the team, like, kind of disappeared, how some guys do when they get injured. But it was like Ronnie was always around. Like, he was at practice, he was at game, he was at every single game, road games too. And so, like, I think, like, that was such a big thing in just, like, keeping the leadership stable on the team. And, like, that definitely helped, even though he wasn't on the field with us, like, definitely helped us do what we did last year.
Yeah.
John, you became best friends with the training staff. Like, you were in the facilities, right?
Right. Yeah.
So you guys are becoming best friends with the staff, with the trainers. Like, that's how you're sticking around, being a part of the program, and you're still growing, right? Like you come back stronger a lot of the time. So I'm sure that was good.
Yeah, I mean, especially like in his case, I got to play against you one of my years, and we all knew, like, you guys had a great receiver room that year with DPJ, Collins, and then also you. And we ended up getting crushed, so we don't really need to talk about that game. But I mean, you guys are known for putting out receivers, and so just, I mean, having you and then seeing the people in the room step up after you, I mean, I'm sure that had to be a great feeling as well.
Definitely. It just, it made it feel like what I was doing was working, you know what I mean? To see the confidence in the room build week by week and the plays that were being made week by week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you talk about or Caden talked about how just the team was just so strong, and you guys were, I mean, pretty much leaning on each other. This was a different group. After the MSU game, I mean, it was a tough game, road game, and I'm sure you guys had to lean on each other. I think you guys were up in that game, and they ended up coming back. What was the mindset leaving the field after that game? Because I feel like everything just shifted for y'all as a team.
Yeah, no, I mean, that was definitely tough. Obviously, like, one of our rivals, Michigan State, and it was kind of just like obviously after a big loss like that, like, it sucks and you're kind of down. But then we were all like, kind of the message was like, we're not done yet. Like, we still control our future. Like, we knew that like there was going to be things that happened, teams that lost to other teams, where like we were still going to be able to control the rest of the season and control where we went from there, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I will also say, really, as we walked out at the locker room, headed to the buses, that's what everybody was saying. The coaches were standing right there and were like, pick your head up. Obviously, it sucks, but, we're still in it. I remember one of the, like, directors of player development, he was standing there handing out food, like, why you pouting? Like, we're still in it. We can still make it to the playoffs. We can still go to the Big Ten championship. And to be honest, like, I didn't know, like, how the college football, like, playoffs worked and everything. So I'm all upset through the game, like, from the game. So I'm like, yeah. But, to see things really did turn out our way. So
it was also a big fuel to the fire too. I mean, like, in my experience playing football, it's like when you don't lose a game like that, or like you're just like winning the whole season, you're undefeated going in the championship game or whatever, it's like you don't really have that edge that some of the other teams do, that like when you lose earlier in the year. So like obviously you want to win every game, but like you learn more from that than you do if you win that game, you know?
It's almost like getting it out of the way.
Yeah, exactly. And like, in the grand scheme of things, like no one really, like, people remember we won the Big Ten championship, we beat Ohio State. Like you kind of remember that we lost to Michigan State, but at the same time, it's like it's overshadowed by the things that we accomplished later in the year.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But there's such a small window though for that playoff. I'm sure it came down, like I don't remember exactly, but I'm sure it came down to the wire.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It was like, all right, are we going to be that number 4 team?
Mm-hmm.
And that brings up a question. I don't know, Sean, where you were going to take it, but just the college football playoff, right? This is kind of more of a, I guess this is a question for the players, but if you guys had to reconfigure the playoff, would you keep it at its current structure, or would you expand it? And if so, how many teams would you guys include in it?
I think I don't care about it besides the fact that we was there 8 days before the game. I think that's just way too long to be there before we play.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's you're changing the timeline up. Yeah.
It's not the same thing as a bowl game. Like it matters more than a bowl game. You know what I mean? Like it should honestly be treated like just kind of probably another game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because you do have another one. So, but they try to, because we played the COVID year, we played Alabama, and so like it was different. So we didn't get the opportunity to see the city and do all the events that you normally do for the bowl game. So we flew down on Thursday. We stayed flew down Thursday, got to chill, then Friday, and then we played Saturday. And I thought that was perfect. Yeah. And it allowed us to like focus on what we got to do, because I feel like when you get down there and like being from Michigan, we're in Indiana, it's like this is beautiful weather. Like we on vacation now, and so like when you down there for like 8 days and like practices are probably chill, but like it's a little different when you got to go to practice and you got to walk outside and it's cold outside and you just remember that you're in the grind.
It's just like, you know what I mean? Like I felt like they wanted to do, like different bowl activities and stuff and like special bowl activities because it was the playoff. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like COVID is still such a thing, you know what I mean? So like it wasn't like we were allowed to do much of anything. Really just felt like we was
I didn't even think about that. Like I figured that it was like, they can let y'all do things, but y'all still had to just be in a hotel and stuff.
Nah, like I just feel like in years past, like I remember like we went to like an amusement park or whatever, and we just did different things that was around people. But like this year, it was just kind of like we went and would do something, but it would just be like 130 people and like all of us in one little spot, and we're trying to do something. It's just like, man, like, what are we doing?
So going back a little bit, you mentioned your rival and everything. One of our rivals is USC. It's also Stanford and Michigan as well, but we don't play Michigan every year. But I'm from Ohio, not a fan of Ohio State. Grew up, actually committed to Michigan out of high school, but ended up decommitting going to Notre Dame. So I never was an Ohio State fan, hated them. What's it like that week of the game? Because I mean, like you can argue about other games during that week, like LSU Bama or Bama Auburn, like those being other games. But me being from like Northeast and being from Ohio or being from the Midwest and Ohio State and Michigan is the game for me. And it's like every year, like no matter what the records are, that's the game for me. So I was never in y'all's shoes to play, so I definitely gotta hear from y'all. Like, what's it like being in that environment, and then what's it like coming out on top?
Bring us through the week, though, right? Like, set us up. What's Saturday? Get off the field. Then what's Sunday like?
Wait, who'd you play the weekend before? Maryland. Oh, so y'all probably destroyed them. Little tune-up game. And then what's the message Sunday when y'all get back?
Well, I guess I'll go first. Obviously, it was my first time playing them and actually playing in the game. But, after we had, took care of Maryland,
everybody was kind of harping like, don't change what you're doing. Like that's one thing like a lot of the coaches will say in meetings, like attack every meeting like we're about to play Ohio State. So that was one thing. And I felt like everybody really took the part on that. Everybody was focused. Practice, throughout the week was really kind of the same. It was the same structure. Like the coaches didn't change anything. They didn't change any of the way like that they were coaching or anything. It was just to me like, Friday, Saturday, especially getting off the bus, it was like a different vibe. Like there was kind of like you could feel like there was hate in the air. Like you could feel like, like it's really about to be one of those games, you know what I'm saying? And then really just the environment, I think it was the loudest throughout the game, like throughout a whole game that the Big House has ever been. Like it was parts like I couldn't hear myself make a check, think. I couldn't do any of that. But then, after the game, it was definitely like something in a movie for sure. Definitely something in a movie.
Yeah, for real. I completely agree with what RJ just said. Like it was just like you could just feel it in the air. Just like the energy was different. Like earlier in the week, it was kind of the same. But like once you got to Friday, like we walked through for the game, going to the hotel, like you could tell, like it was like
real.
serious. Like shit was real. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It is totally that. And then like the game, like come on, like it was snowing. It wasn't like a crazy snow too. So like it was still like good football, but like it was snowing, like just the perfect amount. The crowd was, like RJ said, crazy. Like I've been going to games since I was like 2 years old at Michigan, and like I had never experienced anything like that at the Big House. It was wild.
Man, like it was like 30, 40 degrees. It might even been lower than that. And man, it was probably like off. It's probably like an hour before kickoff, and the stands was filled up. Like it was bottom. Everybody drunk. Like
you can't get a better setting than that, man. In the snow, nah.
What's it? I know we got a couple academic all Big Tens in here. So during that week, I mean, are you a little bit more focused on football, or are you still focused on the studies and like, or the teachers like, all right, like we know, the professors know, like we got mission this week. Like, come on, like chill out.
No, I think my classes were done like the week of Maryland or something like that.
No, it's fall break. It's fall break that week.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
We have class on like Monday, but then like throughout the whole week we don't have class. So it really is just like we're at the building.
football, yeah.
Just like USC week, bro.
Freshman year, I still was in the dorms, and what's it called? Because of the fall break or whatever, dog. I was the only one in the entire dorm. Like everybody was going.
Yeah, it's a little it's creepy, right?
It's scary.
It's depressing.
Only one in there.
And then it's wild because, as soon as like Friday hit, everybody coming back to campus. It's just swarmed. Everybody coming in town. But I mean, that's definitely exciting. Like, I mean, being like, I've watched that game so many years, and just like being able just to see Michigan come out on top and not have any like stake in the game it's a fun experience for me. What was it like playing with guys like Aiden? RJ, you played with him, and I'm sure he probably helped you out a lot as far as like getting the ball out, forcing turnovers and things like that, to where it's like, especially for a DB, you too, Caden, it's like when you got two monsters on the edge like you guys had, it was like I'm sitting on stuff, you know what I mean? I'm looking to get interceptions. I'm looking to make plays myself. So what was it like just I guess having those guys in the locker room, and then just their leadership on the field and off the field?
I just feel like playing, with Aiden and Jabo, you was playing with two like Albert Einsteins of the game. Like they knew like what me and Caden were doing on the back end. They knew, where the rotation was. They knew who. They knew basically the offensive play before like we knew it, like what we could see, whatever. And they just, especially Aiden coming off that injury before like his junior year, I think it was his junior year. He just came back, hungrier than ever. Like I've never seen it like anybody like that. And then especially with Jabo, he wanted to prove something. He wanted to prove to the world that it's not only Aiden, but it's me too. So then, we're back there and we know that the QBs are taking, count who's what, doing what. You know, we know that the ball is going to have to get out quick. You know, they're not going to have a lot of time to really get the ball off, and it's going to cause more mistakes by them. So it was definitely fun playing with them.
Mm-hmm. Brandon, you played quarterback at Notre Dame. What's it like when you got to go against some DNs like they had, or if you've ever?
If I've ever, yeah, I went up against what's the kid's name? I went up against Rayshawn in high school and in college, and then in what's his name? Blonde hair.
Winovich.
Yeah, Winovich.
Oh yeah.
He sacked me. I think he sacked me, and he started talking about my girlfriend. So it's like he really did really good research that game and his homework, because he sacked me. Started talking about my ex now. Said something, pretty borderline disrespectful. It was fine though. Just let it pass. It's all good. But it's tough, man, because you gotta understand. We had Mike McGlinchey. I had Mike McGlinchey at left tackle, and then I might have had Liam Eichenberg at right tackle, like two, first round guys now starting in the NFL. But it was a great battle up there. We had Malik Bush. He was in your secondary leading that on the second level. So it was a chess match going up against those guys. You know what I mean? And you got to figure out what their skill set is and what their the moves that they like, and how to know the escape pockets, right? Like whether it's 4-man down or 3-man down. Then your escape lanes were so key, and that's how I was able to kind of maneuver the pocket that game. But those are some of the most talented guys I've been up against, man. So you guys, it seems like you guys just keep on, reloading at those positions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you definitely see. Michigan is starting to earn the respect, and like of the entire country, and so I think that's important. I think that's going to be cool, definitely going into this next year and into the future years. But Ronnie, were you able to do spring ball at all?
No, I was just coaching throughout spring ball and just rehabbing and schooling. I was pretty much on the same routine that I had been on. I guess just the rehab is ramped up a lot more. I'm 6 months today post-op, so I'm feeling good, looking good, and just still clawing at it.
Yeah. Anything you like learned about your body or learned about yourself, I guess, throughout this rehab? Because like I feel like whenever I was going through rehab, it was like I learned a lot about like the small muscles and like working on like the quick twitch muscles and like making sure those are good to like prevent other things from happening. Obviously you probably spent a lot of time in the training room. Was it during that time, did you like learn any things about yourself that like, sometimes it's like, it's good that you have an injury because it's like, okay, I get to learn, I get to self-reflect and then go into like this whole year, like how you talked about, with a new perspective.
Yeah, a couple of the things. One thing in particular that I guess I realized is like more so how to like warm up my body. I feel like that's something I've always taken for granted, just being able to roll over and then show up to the facility and work out and like, not really, have to think too much of it just because I know my body's ready to rock. But like, I don't know, throughout this injury, I guess, taking a step back, like that's really something that I take the time to do, like stretching and then warming up and like really getting my body ready to go. And I just think that's like a real big thing. And then like another thing, especially now, the more I'm running, the more I'm, doing metabolics and things like that. It's like, taking for granted, like in the past, like the shape that I was in, like being able to run over and over again, and like, not getting tired. And it's like getting tired. It's like, damn, like I forgot, like, how hard it was to actually be in shape.
Just wait till you're done playing and you're drinking beers. Drinking beers on a Monday night. You'll figure out how it feels to not be in shape. But
let's move a little bit, I guess. We got some good convos going about football, but obviously NIL is huge right now in college football. And I'm sure Michigan alum and boosters are trying to get a piece of it and taking care of you guys. Are you what's your reaction? Because I personally wasn't able to capitalize on NIL. Brandon, he can share a little bit what he does with NIL, but what's your guys' like reflection or opinion on it right now?
I mean, it's great for like a lot of guys. Like I know there's several guys on the team making a lot of money. And I mean, I don't know, it just makes sense. I've always thought that student athletes should be able to profit off themselves, you know? And like basically just like personally for me, like I'm not like a huge name. But I've got like a okay following on Instagram and stuff. So I've just been trying to capitalize in like the little pockets that I can, you know what I mean, with certain brands that I like or whatever. Just DMing them, cold DMs, whatever, and just try to get some partnerships going, you know.
For sure.
Yeah, we've had a lot of the MDN has done a lot with us to help, work like different NIL works for everybody, not just like, the names on the team, like the whole team, they've done their best trying to get everybody involved with it. And I think that's been really cool and really appreciative. I think it's a good thing for all the college sports. I feel like I seen it coming, especially when basketball changed that rule to let kids go straight to the G League. I feel like I knew like times were starting to change, and I think it's a good thing though for all of college athletics.
Brandon, you can touch on a little bit about Mogul and stuff.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys. I was telling RJ and Caden, Ronnie, that I'm sure I'm in your DMs if you guys went to your DMs, and because we've been up in Ann Arbor a couple of times now, and we actually had like a little bit of a like an athlete event at one of the bowling alleys. I don't know if you guys. I was with Mike Morris and Eric. Was it Beal?
Oh,
Ball. What is it?
Eric.
Yeah. So, but no, yeah. So I'm one of the co-founders at Mogul, and we're a marketplace, NIL marketplace. Caden's familiar, but it's a platform that allows all college athletes to connect with, the different brands and businesses for these marketing opportunities. We tried to build the most athlete-friendly product, right? I played quarterback, as you guys already know. And so my whole thing was, I think the agency model, it's not outdated or anything like that. I just think we could create, as athletes, we could have created something that is athlete friendly, right? And that's what I try to do. So it's completely free for athletes. We're not taking, percentages of any deals that you're making. We work with over 3,000 athletes. We have about 700 different brands on the platform. But for me, the whole NIL thing is trying to empower us, I guess, former athletes and as current athletes. It's giving you guys a resource and a platform to do this, right? That's the only thing I want out of this, is to really help and put, the best resource in your guys' hands. I see it honestly, guys, I see it more as like a professional development opportunity, right? Like you're going to do those one-off social media sponsorship posts, but it's like, I'm going to also connect with the CEO and a booster and the chief marketing officer of a brand, right? And get connected there. And then, hopefully create something more meaningful than just one-off social media posts, right? So it's like a career opportunity. Like Sean and I didn't know ball was going to end at 24. I mean, Sean's still training and whatnot, but for me, I thought I was going to be playing on Sunday, right? So if NIL was around, it would have been, all right, how can I connect with somebody powerful while I'm most marketable, playing college ball at Michigan, at Notre Dame, and then land myself a job opportunity, when ball is done, right? So that's how I view NIL. No, it's been fun, man. We work with a couple of you guys, and I'm excited to keep helping you guys.
What's the so spring ball just ended. So what's the schedule like now? Is it mostly just like lifts and things like that, and then you got just more free time to the end of the year, or what's that like? Because when I feel like for us, we usually took spring ball almost to like the last 2 weeks of school, but I feel like you guys maybe have like a month left. So what's the training like as far as that?
Yeah, we ended like a week or so earlier than like we did last year. But so like classes end on Tuesday, and then like finals go up until like the 29th, I think. And so right now, yeah, we're just working out. We'll have a couple walkthroughs until school ends. And that's just for the next like three weeks or so. And then in May, we'll have some time off in May.
What's it like? I feel like y'all maybe the only school that travel outside the country, like together. What's that like? And do y'all like that?
That's
Where
Ronnie, man.
you guys go?
We haven't been able to go because COVID. Me and RJ haven't.
Oh, y'all haven't gone yet?
Ronnie.
The one that got to take that trip, we went to South Africa after my freshman year. And that was insane. I had never even seen the ocean before that trip. And I think guys like it a lot. I know that everybody that went, just like we're so grateful and just so, just so many things to talk about, when you get back. Like that was just the most beautiful things. Like I got videos on my phone that pop up every year. And I mean, that's easily like some of the most beautiful structures of land I've ever seen in my whole life. So I think it's just like really, really cool. And guys definitely appreciate it. Like I guess the only part of it that kind of like, like for the guys that don't want to go or the guys that ever have issues with it is because it tweaks into the time that we get to go home.
Yeah.
The only type of conflicts that come, like with people either wanting to go or not wanting to go is because of that. You take that away though, I think those trips are absolutely like just amazing.
What's Harbaugh like? He because I feel like he's one of the only coaches that would ever do that. Like from what I've seen, so he recruited me. I transferred. I got benched, and then I transferred by one of our best friends. I got benched, and then I transferred to UCF, and then he recruited me when I was transferring. And then I met him again like a couple months ago when I was up in Ann Arbor. He's like, "Oh, you're Wimbush, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like dipping and whatnot. Like it's funny. But what's he like? Like I know you're not gonna, you don't talk down on your coach, but I'm just curious as to what kind of guy he is.
I think he's dope, man. I think he just, I feel like he just kind of operates one way. He ticks one way. He's always excited. He's always full of excitement. No matter what y'all talking about, but and like he always will find a way to relate whatever the heck's going on to football. Just that's his ultimate passion. I just feel like he ticks one way, and I think he's dope.
Is it always khakis?
Yes.
Yeah.
Even at practice and stuff?
Yeah. He'll mix up the colors every now and then, but it'll be the same parents.
Always.
Yeah, he'll wear some blue Lulus every now and then, I think.
Yeah. I saw he brought Cap to practice. Well, was he throwing to some guys, or was he just like he was just on his own stuff? Because I saw he might have threw at the spring game as well.
Yeah.
Was that just like just a showcase for him, or was he actually like around the team, like throwing the guys and things like that?
Yeah, the halftime part was more of like just his showcase. And like our guys weren't allowed to like do that, I don't think. But like when he was at practice, like when he was warming up or he was just doing like whatever, like I think guys were allowed to throw with him. So like it was cool. But yeah, he was at practice, what was it, like the last 3 practices or something like that?
Yeah.
He was there for like a week.
That's dope.
Yeah, he was
Coached
dope.
him at San Fran, right?
Yeah, coached him at the 49ers.
Dope. What are some obviously like Brandon talked about getting into mogul after his career was over. What are some things, and I don't know if you maybe thought about them, but I mean hopefully this helps you, but what are some things that you guys enjoy doing off the field? Like I never thought that I would be doing this, starting a podcast, getting in front, but sort of my background led me to do this. Like I had injuries in college, and our coaches that we had at Notre Dame went off to other universities like Texas or LSU or Vanderbilt. And I'm like, let me get these guys on camera. Let me get some different players on camera, because all I know is Notre Dame. I have no idea what goes on at these other universities. And I feel like for a fan and for other college athletes, they would love to know, especially for recruits too. I mean, there's a ton of people who can enjoy these type of conversations, but football does end eventually. And what are some things that you guys like especially like now, like you guys you pretty much have a lot of free time. So what are some things that you like to get into off the field?
Mm-hmm. Let me think.
I can talk first. I mean, lately, like whenever whenever we're not like packed with schoolwork or football or anything, I do like to read a lot. So like today was like a nice day. I was sitting outside getting some sun, reading. I'm reading. It's called The Art of Impossible right now. It's about like peak performers and stuff, how they achieve the impossible. I also like to play piano. It's like I was literally right here. Put my computer's on it right now. I played piano for like 10 years growing up. I stopped in high school because it was like I couldn't. It was too much of a schedule. You know how it is with St. Ed's, Sean. But yeah, I mean, those are two things I like to do, and I like to like, I don't know. I've been thinking recently about like what I want to do when I'm done with football, and it's like for the longest time, like I just had no idea. You know what I mean? Like I'm a communications major just because it's like broad and like I can take a bunch of classes, and I'm also minoring in entrepreneurship. So it's just like I'm just trying to find something where I can own my own business, you know, and just be my own boss.
Nice. It's a nice thing.
Yeah.
I guess for me, I don't know. I normally just like to chill, get on the game a little bit. I just finished Shameless. I was really late to the party.
I still haven't seen that.
Nah, it's a decent show. It's a decent show. You know, I'll go eat. I like to eat a lot. Like to hoop. You know, we hoop a lot. I think gonna start back up every Friday since that's our last day. Really.
Who's the best on the team? Sorry.
Close. You talking to him? Sitting right here.
Nah, yeah. Definitely, yeah. I don't know. Keon got a little punch to him too. I ain't gonna lie. But yeah, definitely hoop. I like to go to the movies a lot. FaceTime.
You seen the new Batman?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
You say you like the big time?
That long ass movie.
No. It is.
Movie. Oh, that movie long.
Yeah. You said FaceTime?
Yeah, I'll be on the phone, Boo Lovin' and all that, but that's
How long? What's the longest you've been on the phone?
I think the one time me and my girlfriend went was like 15 hours.
What? At one time?
Yeah, that's because like when was that? Nah, it was like we was on the phone, fell asleep, and then woke back up and she was still there, and it was like, what's up? Like,
was it like overnight and then y'all just woke up, said like good morning, and or it was just like during the day you took a nap and she was just like there. She was like, oh, she's a nurse, so it was overnight. Okay. So she was studying one time and I had fell asleep with the TV on, and then she had fell asleep. And then it was just like I woke up and like she was still there, and then we just got back to chatting.
And what are you gonna talk about then? Like you
I want that one day.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Nah, I mean that's good though. I'm sure it keep you locked in, keep you out of trouble and all that stuff. But Ronnie, what you like to do in your free time?
Man, I don't do nothing like at all. I don't do nothing but sit here and play the game. I try and keep my room clean, and then like I just go to the movies. But RJ lying, he don't like going to the movies, dog. I go to the movies by my damn self. He do not come with
I'll go to the movies. I'll go to the movies if you ask me. Like nobody asked me, can I go to the
I go to the movie every Sunday, and like I don't care what side, I'm just going in there and I'm just gonna watch something just to give me something to do.
Yeah.
And then like I like watching like Master Chef, like I like watching like cooking shows and stuff like that. But
okay. You would cook yourself, or you just find it entertaining?
I can throw down like a mean little steak, and then like that's it for real. Like I ain't really tried to cook nothing, like ever. But like I mean, I feel like I especially after watching. I've been watching like I'm on like season like 10. Like I'd be sitting there just watching people cook all day. Like I feel
you gotta cook for your receivers one day.
See, look, like they a little bougie for me though. I don't know if they want to. They come and sit in my little apartment and eat like that.
Yeah. They is bougie. I ain't gonna lie.
That's how receivers are. Caden, your journey probably is a little different than theirs. You were a walk-on,
Yeah, so I was like a gray shirt. So it was like I
Yeah.
was like walk on my first semester, and then after that I was on scholarship.
Explain the gray shirt a little bit. I'm sure a lot of people don't know what that is.
So like a real gray shirt, so mine was like it was like a May shirt. It was like Harbaugh kind of made it up. But a real gray shirt is you don't even come onto campus until your second semester. Until like your second semester freshman year, and then you're right on scholarship. But I just came on kind of as a PWO for the first semester, so I could be there for freshman year, and I played in 3 games my freshman year on special teams, and then like just second semester I was on scholarship. I thought it was a good deal.
Yeah, it sounded good to me.
Yeah.
What were some RJ and Ronnie? I know Ronnie, you're from Kansas City, and RJ, you're from New Jersey. What were some other schools that was possibly looking at y'all, or that you had interest in? Because I'm sure it was probably a lot of schools. So, like, which schools? Like, what was your like top 3, and then what made you choose Michigan?
I'll give you my top 4 because there's 2 that were tied. Basically, it was between Michigan, Penn State, Wisconsin, and Notre Dame, actually. But,
why you ain't go to Notre Dame?
I just felt like I heard a lot about Notre Dame. Like I just heard like it wouldn't fit me. You know what I'm saying? Like it wouldn't fit me. And plus, I played baseball too. So like coming out of high school, I was like kind of a big baseball player, and I wanted to do like be that Bo Jackson in college, but I didn't realize like how hard it would have been. But so really like a couple schools told me I couldn't play baseball there. Wisconsin obviously doesn't have baseball too. You said what?
I said the year before you got here, the baseball team was in a championship game, weren't they?
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. Where are you from in Jersey?
South Jersey. I'm from like the Cherry Hill area.
Got it.
Yeah.
You know the twins? Adam Alola twins, maybe?
Where they from?
Like Jackson.
That's North Jersey.
No.
We're definitely not about to talk about Jersey though.
Like Old Bridge. Old Bridge.
I know he's talking about. Yeah.
What was the things about Notre Dame that you heard? I'm interested because I mean a lot of recruits say they hear things and then they get turned off. So I want to see like, is it like a consensus? Like, is it a normal thing that the people hearing?
I just heard it was like really strict, and it was like you couldn't like do what you wanted to do almost. You know what I'm saying? Like I heard like
we got movie theaters, we got Wi-Fi for your FaceTime, we got
Nah, but I've been out there before, and it was like it didn't look like there was a lot to do. Like I wanted like a city type vibe. Like that Ann Arbor is obviously like a city type vibe, but when I went to Notre Dame, it was just like it was Notre Dame. Like,
who was your like host?
I just went on an unofficial. I didn't go on an official there.
Got you.
Yeah.
Ronnie, what schools was you looking at?
I had like basketball scholarships, but for football, the only scholarship I had was from Michigan. I didn't have no I wasn't a big recruit in football. And I was actually committed to go play basketball at Missouri State until like December of my senior year, and then that's when like a bunch of crazy stuff was going on. I ultimately decided I didn't want to play basketball just because I wanted to play football. And then Coach Harbaugh called me on like a Thursday, I think, or something. And then I think I committed, or I think he called me Wednesday and I committed Saturday.
How do you have one offer from Michigan? How's that possible?
Man, I don't know. I guess everybody thought I wanted to hoop. Just because, I played AAU basketball, and I never really was like going to any of those camps or anything. I never put my name out there. And like when Coach Harbaugh offered me, like I didn't even have like a 247 profile on like the website. Like there was nothing on me. And so then like he offered me and they gave me like a 2-star or something stupid like that. And and then like from there, schools like started hitting me up from, just like in response to Michigan offering me, but like I didn't even like, my phone half the time.
Yeah. You got to the person who recruited you probably got a raise because they was probably like
talent.
Oh, it was Harbaugh.
It was straight Coach Harbaugh. He was so his wife is from Kansas City.
Okay.
He was talking to her brother, who coaches basketball in my conference. So like I went to Park Hill, and then Blue Spring South is where he coached basketball at. So they were just on the phone talking like about whatever, talking about like football in Kansas City, da da da. And like I had broke like almost every record, you know what I'm saying, in Kansas City, and like won all the little special awards for like the Heisman Award, like it was called the Simone or whatever. And like I just was going crazy like all fall, and nobody ever was offering me. Like I think I was committed to play basketball at Missouri State, and then I out there with like seven catches, 250 yards, and like 3 tuds. Like I was just going out there going crazy.
Yeah.
And then so him and his brother-in-law was on the phone. He said like who's good football players in Kansas City, da da da. And there's like Park Hill's got this receiver, and I was the only receiver out of my whole class.
Okay.
So needed a receiver, and like so then he said he turned on my tape, and then like he called me the next day.
Dang. So it's kind of like you. I mean, obviously you're probably happy with the decision, but it's kind of like it's fate to where it was like, I mean, things happen for a reason to where, I mean, obviously you were committed to play basketball, but no receiver in the class, Harbaugh recruiting you and things like that, to where it's like, it seems like you almost like meant to be at Michigan and doing what you do.
Yeah, it's all crazy when you look back at how it played out. But forever thankful and just grateful for all the opportunities this coaches gave me.
Is that a product of Missouri football though? Like who's the highest recruit out of Missouri?
That year we had a bunch of guys. Mario Goodrich. Oh snap! Hold on. My pop's sitting here calling me. I don't know how to cancel. Maybe. There you go. Yeah. Guys, can y'all see me? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. My 2018, we had a bunch of guys want to play basketball. Ochai Abaji just won the Natty at KU. Was coming out that year. And then like I was just about to talk about Mario Goodrich. He went to Clemson. He was first team All ACC this year. He's gonna be one of the top DBs off the board.
There's some talent.
Yeah, I mean, like it was deep. Like it was quite a few people. We had a tight end with Daniel Parker went to Mizzou. Daniel Carson went to Texas.
Yeah.
I mean, there was probably like 10, 15, high level basketball guys that out of that class alone.
Yeah.
And I mean, shoot, I was just scratching and clawing trying to get a little scholarship from like Mizzou or something, but like ain't nobody was messing with me, man.
Yeah.
What are some of the outside of Ohio State? What are some of the like biggest games that you guys played in? Nebraska.
Yeah.
Was it this past year too, or years before?
I just feel like from this past year.
Nebraska for some record wasn't good, but they played everybody tough. Like
their point differential was 0 at the end of the year, and they went like 3-9 or something like that.
Yeah, they were definitely a tough team to bet against for sure. But yeah, I mean, obviously, like Caden was groomed to go to Michigan. Your family, your dad and your
my grandpa,
went to Michigan. Okay, black and white. Yep. So he was meant to go to Michigan. So, no, but I guess we go for like 10 more minutes. But I mean, I appreciate you guys. It's definitely been a good conversation. Definitely. I don't know if I'm a Michigan fan, but I'm gonna definitely root for y'all 3 for sure.
John, I got a question for you.
What's up?
I heard like rumors when I was in high school, but like, why did you decommit from Michigan?
So it was just a tough time for Michigan, honestly, and I didn't want to be a part of the rebuild. That was when Brady Hoke just got fired. He got fired my senior year. Oh no, my junior year, and so no. He got fired my senior year, and then Coach Harbaugh got hired like December of my senior year. So like signing day was like already like a month away or 2 months away. So like by that time it was like I didn't even have a chance to go back to Michigan. Mm-hmm. But I love Michigan. I said I grew up a Michigan fan, like visited so many times, went to the Buffalo Wild Wings. That was my favorite spot right by campus, or it might be right on campus. But yeah, I went. I mean, we traveled to Michigan all the time. But honestly, the main reason why I chose Notre Dame over Michigan was I did like a weekend trip. So on Friday, I went to Michigan, and I was like, okay, like I planned it out in my head. I was like, I'm gonna go to Michigan and see how it goes, and then whatever. And then the next day, I visited. We went right to Notre Dame. So I was just like, whoever give me the best feeling, that's why I'm gonna pick. And so I went to Notre Dame the next day, and it was unreal. So I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna just stick with Notre Dame. But
met me, right? That was the day we met.
Probably, but I don't think I could have went wrong anywhere. I mean, at the end of the day, I felt like they were pretty much the same school. At that time, I think Notre Dame was just in a better position. They were just they were coming off like obviously like winning seasons and stuff. They just won the Music City Bowl, beat LSU and like Leonard Fournette and them. So it was just like, okay, like this is like a team that I want to be a part of. Obviously great academics like Michigan and close to home like Michigan. It was just really like, that's why I just put it on that weekend. So I was like, whichever school I had the best feeling at, that's going to be it. But I wasn't too worried about the rumors about Notre Dame and how boring it was and things like that. Cause I had my mind was made up on just like going there and just trying to, execute on just the best possible situation for me as far as football. But I don't think I went wrong. But I mean, I think if I ended up at Michigan, I probably would have had the same career, would have obviously played with great people, played in big games and things like that.
Mm-hmm. I got one more question that kind of goes off that for both you and Brandon. How is, like, Brandon, you asked how Coach Harbaugh is. How is Brian Kelly? Because I see these videos of him at LSU, and like, I don't know, like, what's your guys' perspective about him?
I'll go first because mine might be a little bit boring, but I rock with Coach Kelly. Like he's my guy. So I wasn't even getting recruited at first by Notre Dame until they fired the DC, and then Coach Kelly like came to the school and recruited me himself, came by the house and all that stuff. So I feel like since then, like he's rocked with me, and then also, like I had 3 season ending injuries at Notre Dame. And so for him to like, for the head coach to never give up on me to where it was like, I feel like he's always trusted me to, when I came back and did the things and I proved that I was like healthy again, he always put me in position to start again. So it wasn't like, oh, he might get hurt or he's hurt, like let's put him as a backup or whatever. It was like, no, let's give you an opportunity and let's see what you do. And it was like that every single time. So for that, and just for the way that he's always stuck with me through the injuries, like I'm always rock with Coach Kelly.
Sean was just a good football player, so you couldn't put him on the sideline. Like that would have been a detriment to the team. Coach Kelly was cool, man. He changed his ways. I'm sure you guys saw, like, you know, when you guys were younger, Ronnie's a little older, but like his purple faces on the sideline when he would yell at the quarterbacks. Like we definitely had that a couple of times. That sucked. But he definitely changed his ways, man. We went 4-8 in 2016, cleared house. Coach Kelly became more of a, I guess, if you personable coach, Sean. I don't know if you want to call it that, but kind of the more doors open approach, Caden, right? Like, guys, if you want to have a conversation, come in, right? So it kind of changed the culture a little bit of the program and in the locker room, which was good. Tough coach, tough quarterback coach. Very offensive minded guy in the quarterback room. But definitely what he's doing at LSU. I mean, I don't know what's going on at LSU. I think he just he tried to change for the culture there. So we'll see how that plays out with those videos and whatnot. But no, man, a good coach who's been around the game for 30 years, know what he's talking about. So it's definitely fortunate to play for him.
Yeah. I guess before we wrap it up, I got just a couple more things. What is I mean, obviously, like I said, you guys made the college football playoffs. So, what's the next step for you guys? Obviously, heading into break. What's the mindset? What's the next step for this Michigan program?
Can't get complacent. You know what I mean? Can't be your shit still stink. You know what I mean? You can't just be happy with where you at. You got to continue to grow, continue to build. And the biggest thing is just complacency. You can't fall into the trap of complacency.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got the same goals as last year, and now we got a target on our back. You know what I mean? So it's like we gotta we gotta step it up even more from last year.
Mm-hmm. What's I mean, I don't know if you can answer this, but what was it like with the rumors that your coach might be fired playing like while in the season? Did you guys like have his back, or was it just like ignored inside the locker room, inside the facility?
It really never even really felt like that. You know what I mean? Like it never felt like his job was at jeopardy throughout, at the beginning of the season or before the season or throughout the season. Like I feel like we all understood, the conversations that we talked about with each other, conversations we had with him. And, like when we bring it up as a team and we talk, like I feel like it was easy to, have his back and want to play for him. You know what I mean? Like he never gave us any type of like sign of like, he was stepping down or, like pulling his foot off the gas. You know what I mean? Like he never wavered off track at all. So, you know what I mean? I felt like it was easy as players to, follow that line. And then we went out and the guys played the way that we did. It was, it's like special.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We were talking about how it's like such a tight knit group with the players. Like it was such a tight knit group with the coaches too. Like Coach Harbaugh to, Coach Gaddis is gone now. He's at the U, and Coach McDonald is also gone now. He's the Ravens' new DC. And then all the other assistant coaches, like it was such like a tight knit group. Like we were all like just like feeding off each other, and we were all like all of our like visions were aligned.
Mm-hmm.
Coach Gaddis recruited me to Penn State. I was committed to Penn State, but when he was there, he recruited me. That's funny.
This will be the last thing, but what's your favorite color combination for uniforms? Because growing up for me, Michigan was just the normal, the blue with the yellow pants or the maize pants, sorry. And then it was just a white jersey with the maize pants, and that was it. Like
all blue.
All blue?
That all different, boy.
I like is it a different shade? It's not the same like blue that is all it's definitely different. It looked good on TV.
I think they try to be the same, but it is a little bit different.
It's like a little bit like
it's a
like
little
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I got a soft spot in my heart for the classic maize and blues, the home, but I mean the all blue is pretty tough.
Yeah. Was it sorry, one more. What about this? Y'all already, well, I guess this don't even matter, but what's Jordan like, the Jordan brand? Because we were Under Armour. I mean, Under Armour's like it's straight, it's whatever, but we got good gear and they show love, but we ain't never get off the plane rocking Jordans, or we ain't never like travel gear suits got the Jordan logo on it. So what's that like? What's that life like?
The shoes, really. Like you don't got to go on StockX or GOAT and like spend all this money for them. They end up in your cubby one day.
Wait, but you like the blue? Like you like wearing blue? Like I don't know if I could ever get with like blue and gold 12s.
Now I hear you.
Or like green 12s. Like I don't care how cool or exclusive them is, but they're not original. You know what I mean? Like but you do get one of ones or one of 100s. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't really wear them.
Yeah, like you can't rock. You're not gonna rock those. Like yo.
No, I have before. Like some of them. I got some Fords.
Major, like especially the ones that be like the all maize joints. Like some of those like are really hard.
Tough, yeah. Okay.
Ronnie just be hooping in here, so he just
white pair Like some of them be, I ain't gonna lie, some of them be clean for real.
Yeah. But nah, I mean, I appreciate you guys. I mean, definitely like not playing anymore is or not being in college anymore. I'm able to just like broaden my range and start to like watch other teams and like be fans of just other teams and other players. Because I feel like when you're in it, it's like no one else matters. Y'all focused on Michigan, and that's all that matter. Like you probably don't even watch a Notre Dame game. You probably don't even watch other games to where it's like only time you see them is on film. So just being like outside, like being out of college now and being able to watch football, like it's definitely being able to just put a face with the jersey now. And so appreciate y'all. I know you took the time out. So yeah, thank you guys.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for listening. Hope you enjoyed another episode of Varsity House Podcast. We thank you to all the players and the coaches who came on the show. I mean, it's not easy for them to take time out of their day and just to give us a glimpse into their program. I'm here at Varsity House. We always want to make sure that we're delivering great content to our fans. So please like, comment, subscribe, and please leave reviews on teams we should do next, players you want on, and questions you want asked. Thank you again, and let's make it happen.